Paul, someone's watching this and they have an idea and they're thinking, okay, I've got this idea. How do I go from the idea now to that first paying customer? What golden piece of advice would you give to that viewer?
I think to customer, interesting. I think one thing you need to do is you need the core skills for your business within the team you have. I don't think you can do this by yourself, and there are plenty of single founders around, but you need to have the skills to build and iterate within the core team. So if you can't code, then you either need to learn how to code or you need to find somebody who shares your idea. Don't try and do it alone, I think, would always be the first piece of advice. I think a second piece of advice, and this doesn't necessarily answer your question, but it's a good piece of advice for startups because I learned it the hard way. Because aside from everything I do with Ignite and the like, I have my own startup. And in its previous life, we launched it as an MVP, as a minimum viable product, and we shouted about it too loudly. And what happened is that a lot of people came to it, a lot of people trialed it, and they went away again very quickly because it was an MVP. And what we should have done is actually just launched it quietly and let people find it naturally and then use their feedback to build the feature set around it. So if you do launch a product, and the best thing to do is build something, get it out there and see how people use it, because you can never judge how something's going to work in the wild. You can guess, and sometimes you can make a very good and astute guess, but actually a lot of the time people will find new ways of using it that you never dreamed of. So get it out there, just don't shout about it. Just because you've launched something, it doesn't necessarily warrant any coverage in the tech press, it doesn't warrant shouting about to anyone beyond a small group of beta testers. So when you have an MVP, be very wary about attracting press. Wait until you have the feature set that actually suits you and suits your users before you go about courting promotion.